History remembers Leonardo da Vinci as the painter of the Mona Lisa and the Last Supper, but painting alone cannot explain him. The same hand that softened a human smile also opened the human body to study its muscles. The same eyes that watched light fall across a face studied water, plants, birds, and machines. Leonardo was an artist, anatomist, engineer, architect, and inventor. Yet even this list fails to contain him. He did not move between separate worlds. Inside his mind, they were never separate. Before we enter that mind, if you are drawn to the hidden forces that shape intelligence, identity, and human behavior, subscribe and join us here at Doctrine of Mind. This investigation unfolds through 6 chapters, and you should stay until the end because Leonardo's life contains both a gift and a warning. You will discover why some people cannot live inside one label, how powerful minds connect subjects that others keep apart, why curiosity can become an intellectual advantage, and how that same curiosity can quietly destroy completion. In the final chapter, we will transform Leonardo's method into a practical discipline, how to keep your many interests without becoming lost inside them. Leonardo's mind offers permission to become more than one thing, but it also asks a brutal question. What is the value of infinite potential if nothing is ever finished? This is Doctrine of Mind. Let's go. Chapter 1. The Man Who Could Not Be Defined. Leonardo was born in 1452 near the Tuscan town of Vinci. Born outside marriage, he did not follow the formal education that prepared men for law, medicine, or university life. Yet that limitation may also have left an opening. As a young man, he entered Andrea del Verrocchio's Florentine workshop, a collision of painting, sculpture, metalwork, mechanics, geometry, and architecture. An apprentice learned how materials behaved, how weight was carried, and how the body moved beneath fabric. Leonardo was not introduced to knowledge as a collection of isolated subjects. He encountered it as a living system. To paint a hand, he needed to understand its movement. To understand movement, he needed to examine muscles and bones. To reproduce light, he needed to study vision. To create a convincing landscape, he needed to observe rocks, plants, water, and atmosphere. For most people, the task ended with the painting. For Leonardo, the painting opened another door. This is the first key to his psychology. He did not build his identity around a professional title. He built it around a method of attention. Painter, engineer, and anatomist were not competing personalities. They were temporary forms taken by the same deeper impulse, the need to understand how nature produced its effects. Most identities are built through repetition. A person does something, receives recognition, and begins to say, "This is what I am." The label provides stability, but can become a wall. People often resist every version of you that does not confirm it. Leonardo resisted that reduction. He did not ask, "Which category will accept me?" His life suggests a different question. What must I become in order to understand what I am seeing? That question kept his identity open. It allowed him to enter any field that served the investigation. His unity came not from doing one thing, but from pursuing the relationship between observation and truth. Chapter 2. Curiosity Without Permission. Leonardo's notebooks reveal a mind that refused to wait for permission before becoming interested. Across thousands of surviving drawings and pages, artistic studies appear beside machines, maps, plants, weapons, water, faces, geometry, and the organs of the body. He often wrote in mirror script, but the greater mystery is not the direction of the writing. It is the range of the questions. He wanted to understand how birds remained in the air, how water curved, how age altered the face, how the heart controlled motion, and how emotion became visible through gesture. He observed the ordinary until it stopped appearing ordinary. This was not curiosity as entertainment. It was curiosity as labor. Leonardo drew subjects repeatedly and from different angles. He measured, compared, dissected, and designed experiments. His eye remained with a thing until appearance began to reveal structure. That distinction matters. Modern life can make a person feel curious while keeping the mind passive. We consume endless facts and explanations, yet the mind may never form a serious question of its own. Leonardo reversed that process. He collected questions before he collected conclusions. He understood that a precise question trains perception. Ask, "What is this?" and you receive a name. Ask, "What forces make it behave this way?" and the object begins to open. Water twisted, collided, eroded, and reflected. A face was a changing surface through which thought and fear entered the visible world. A bird was a living solution to weight, balance, and air. Deep curiosity threatens fixed identity because a genuine question may demand a new skill or the abandonment of an old belief. Many people protect identity by avoiding questions that could disturb it. Leonardo protected the question instead. But curiosity has no natural ending. Every answer produces another door, and every door consumes time. The power that expanded Leonardo's mind would eventually create one of his greatest struggles. How could one lifetime contain everything that appeared worthy of investigation? Chapter 3. The mind that connected everything. Leonardo's greatest ability may not have been painting, engineering, or anatomy. It may have been transfer, the ability to carry an idea from one field into another. When he studied the body, he used ways of seeing that belonged to engineering and architecture. He separated structures into layers and examined how each part acted upon another. The body became a system of levers, cords, chambers, and moving forces. But the transfer also moved in the opposite direction. His anatomical knowledge deepened his art. A painted gesture could reveal what he called the motions of the mind. In the Last Supper, the apostles do not merely sit around a table. Shock travels through them after Christ announces that one will betray him. Hands rise, bodies recoil, faces search one another, and suspicion moves through the room like a wave. Psychology becomes visible through anatomy. His studies of optics and atmosphere helped him create transitions so subtle that outlines seemed to dissolve. Water gave him a language for movement. Currents twisted into spirals, while human hair curled with a similar rhythm. He saw patterns migrating through nature. This is not the same as knowing random facts about many subjects. Leonardo searched for shared principles. Flow, pressure, balance, proportion, resistance, motion, transformation. These principles did not belong exclusively to art, water, machinery, or the body. They were behaviors that reappeared in different forms. Where a specialist saw separate objects, Leonardo often saw the same action wearing different clothing. That is the engine of a multidimensional mind. It moves beneath its interests, searching for a structure that connects them. A person with several genuine interests may not be distracted at all. The connection may exist where other people cannot yet see it. But there is a test. Real interdisciplinary thinking produces transfer. One field changes how you work in another. If your interests never meet or produce anything, you may simply be escaping the discomfort of mastery by repeatedly becoming a beginner. Leonardo's curiosity had direction because observation gave it a center. He returned to nature and asked how visible effects emerged from invisible causes. His mind rejected borders, but not depth. Chapter 4. The Outsider's Advantage. Leonardo once described himself as a man without letters, a person not formed by the classical education that gave scholars command of Latin and access to inherited authority. Important texts were harder for him to read, and intellectual circles could dismiss an artist as a mere craftsman. Yet exclusion can create unusual freedom. Unable to depend entirely on books, Leonardo gave extraordinary authority to experience. He learned from earlier thinkers, but returned to what his own eyes, hands, and experiments could confirm. The outsider's advantage is not ignorance. It is reduced obedience to categories. Leonardo repeatedly redefined his usefulness. In Florence, he trained as an artist. At Ludovico Sforza's court in Milan, he presented himself as a designer of bridges, fortifications, weapons, canals, buildings, and public spectacles. In 1502, he worked for Cesare Borgia as a military architect and engineer. Later, he moved among Florence, Milan, and Rome before spending his final years in France under King Francis I. To call these changes indecision would miss something important. Identity flexibility was also adaptation. Courts collapsed, patrons changed, and wars interrupted commissions. A man who depended upon one narrow role could be destroyed when the world no longer required it. Leonardo carried a deeper identity that could survive the loss of a position, an investigator who could apply perception wherever he was placed. The outsider mentality does not mean isolation, rejecting teachers, or believing that misunderstanding proves genius. Leonardo benefited from workshops, patrons, collaborators, physicians, scholars, and assistants. The lesson is more precise. Learn from institutions without surrendering your perception to them. Learn a profession without allowing the profession to define the limits of your mind. Belong where belonging helps you grow, but preserve an internal place where approval does not decide what you are permitted to notice. An outsider can stand inside a system without allowing the system to do all the seeing. Chapter 5. The Curse of Infinite Possibility. The myth of Leonardo becomes dangerous when it celebrates his range but hides its cost. His surviving paintings are remarkably few. The Adoration of the Magi and Saint Jerome were left unfinished. The Sforza equestrian monument never became bronze. The Battle of Anghiari was not completed. Even the Last Supper deteriorated early because Leonardo used an experimental wall painting method. Not every failure was his fault. War, lost patronage, and political instability destroyed opportunities around him. The Sforza monument existed in a world that suddenly had more urgent uses for bronze. But circumstance alone cannot explain the pattern. Leonardo investigated, revised, and redirected. A painting could lead into optics, anatomy, geometry, or mechanics, until the original task was surrounded by questions more fascinating than completion. His anatomical research reveals the tragedy clearly. He dissected human bodies, studied muscles, bones, organs, the nervous system, and the heart, and developed visual methods astonishing for his time. Yet the great anatomical treatise he intended to publish never appeared. His discoveries remained inside private papers and could not shape medicine when they might have mattered most. The work was brilliant. The transmission failed. This is the shadow of a mind that can imagine too many possibilities. Completion requires exclusion. To finish one version, you must kill all the versions it might still become and accept that your present ability has placed a limit around the idea. For a perfectionistic mind, that can feel like betrayal. An unfinished work remains unlimited. In imagination, it can still become flawless. A finished work becomes real, and reality can be judged. We cannot diagnose a man who lived 5 centuries ago. But Leonardo's pattern exposes a recognizable conflict, the desire to discover versus the discipline to conclude. The more possibilities a person sees, the more reasons they can invent to delay commitment. Meanwhile, life is being spent. This is Leonardo's warning to every multidimensional person. Refusing a single identity can liberate you. Refusing every limit can dissolve you. Curiosity without hierarchy becomes fragmentation. Perfection without release becomes invisibility. Potential without completion becomes a private mythology the world never receives. The goal is not to become smaller. The goal is to give your vastness a form. Chapter 6. Refuse the label, master the mind. So how can a person preserve Leonardo's range without inheriting Leonardo's unfinished burden? First, choose a central question instead of a single label. A label says, "I am only an artist," or "I am only a scientist." A central question can unite several abilities. Leonardo's work repeatedly asked how nature creates visible form and motion. Your question may involve behavior, storytelling, technology, power, or beauty. When interests serve the same investigation, identity gains unity without becoming narrow. Second, train observation before interpretation. Keep a notebook, but do not fill it only with other people's words. Record what you notice, sketch systems, describe behavior, write questions you cannot answer. Strengthen the ability to remain with reality before forcing it into an existing opinion. Third, make your interests meet. Do not study 5 subjects as 5 disconnected lives. Ask what psychology can teach storytelling, what music reveals about pattern, or how history changes your understanding of power. Range becomes valuable when knowledge transfers. Fourth, limit the number of active creations. You may possess 10 identities, but you cannot execute 10 major projects at once. Archive future possibilities, then choose 1 or 2 works for the present season. This is how curiosity becomes visible. Fifth, define completion before perfection begins moving the boundary. Decide what done means. The length, purpose, deadline, and quality. Otherwise, imagination will keep adding doors to a building already ready to open. Sixth, release work while you can still see its flaws. A finished creation reveals your present limit. Accept it. An imperfect work can teach you, reach others, and become the foundation for a stronger one. An imaginary masterpiece teaches nothing. Finally, allow identity to move through seasons. You do not need to express every part of yourself every day. One season may demand the engineer, another the artist, another the teacher. They are instruments used by the same consciousness. Leonardo died in France in 1519. He left few completed paintings, but thousands of drawings and investigations survived, a mind reaching across boundaries. His greatness does not prove that one person can finish everything. It proves that reality itself does not respect the borders we place around knowledge. The body is engineering. Movement is mathematics. Painting is psychology. Water is architecture in motion. And identity, at its deepest level, may be less like a statue and more like a river. Continuous, recognizable, but never trapped in one shape. Leonardo da Vinci refused a single identity because one identity was too small for the unity he saw everywhere. He teaches us not to confuse a job with a self, mistake a category for a boundary, or silence curiosity because others prefer a simpler version of us. But his unfinished works teach the second half of the lesson. Freedom needs discipline, curiosity needs selection, potential needs a deadline. You do not honor your abilities by performing all of them at once. You honor them by choosing which one must take form now. So do not ask only, what single thing am I supposed to be? Ask, what question has followed me through every version of myself? Find that question. Let your interests gather around it. Observe more deeply than others observe. Connect what others keep apart. Refuse the labels that make your mind smaller. Then finish something, because the world cannot receive your potential. It can receive only what your potential becomes. If this investigation gave you a new way to understand your own mind, subscribe and join Doctrine of Mind. Here, we do not collect labels. We examine the hidden architecture beneath human behavior. Until the next investigation, think beyond the identity you were given, but master the mind that is trying to escape it.